From real-life accidents to iconic dance moves. Family Guy sure has borrowed a lot of stuff from real life, which is why today I'm going to show you every single viral moment that Family Guy parodied. So why don't we kick things off with a question? Why do we just love watching people eat dirt?
Oh! Ow, 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 I can't breathe. Ow, 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 ow.
That agonizing grunting sound was pulled from this timeless internet sensation.
The whole day. Stop. Oh, 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 I can't. Ow, 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 oh, stop, oh, stop, I can't breathe.
Within a few seconds of face planting and eating a mouthful of gluten-free dirt, that reporter for Fox 5 News instantly became an immortal meme. The internet is such a beautiful, twisted place. At the time, she was reporting on a grape stomping competition that was coming up, but she left there with a face and ego that were bruised worse than the grapes. That wasn't the only time Family Guy parodied the news, and once again, they picked Stewie to do it.
We'll do it live! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album.
Now, if you're wondering where that was from, watch this.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we will leave you with a... I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
That was behind the scenes for an Inside Edition segment in the late 80s where Bill O'Reilly was supposed to record a simple sign-off. Just a simple goodbye, but he was struggling over one single line.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay. Now, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
After a few failed takes, he decided to do it live, and the meme was born. It's not all news memes Family Guy likes to parody. Sometimes it's an ancient commercial from the 80s.
Please pass the all fruit.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Normally, you'd need to be like 40 plus to even get that reference, which is why Family Guy did the unthinkable. They explained the joke.
Oh, 80s stuffy brunch.
Please pass the all fruit.
Clearly the matriarch, she's got the most pearls.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Weird sexual tension there.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Okay, watch. Here's where it all goes to hell.
Would you please pass the jelly?
See, he called it jelly. Okay, now you have the information that would have made that funny had you had it going in.
That 1989 Polliner commercial was the company's way of convincing people their product had actual fruit in it, but it was just half the truth. What it really had was fruit chunks and a massive amount of preservatives. But of course, Family Guy couldn't just leave it at one parody. They are known for their remarkable ability to beat jokes to death, so here's the Russian version of all fruit.
I'll have the aspic. Could you please pass the beef jelly?
Oh.
No, not really. Speaking of not knowing when to stop, check out this next very real accident Family Guy decided to reference. This is a very close replica of a viral video from 2013 known simply as the Crash of Lake Ozarks. The driver was clearly trying to make waves, but he wasn't just speeding like a crazy person, he was also trying to win a race. Unfortunately, he ended up winning a visit to the doctor's office, and while Peter's injuries were obviously exaggerated, the real injuries were still really bad. The driver broke his back, there were some broken bones, and even a punctured lung, but nobody died. Thankfully. You want to know what true relief looks like? A fat kid getting off a terrifying amusement park ride. Very specific, right? Don't worry, it'll make sense in a second. First, the Family Guy version.
I'm too heavy!
Wow, if you think that was in any way exaggerated, watch this. Anybody would lose their minds if they were about to fall from a 15-story building, which is how tall some of those rides are. To make matters worse, it's swinging at almost 70 miles per hour.
Janice, I'm stuck. This hurts. This hurts.
All it takes is one snap to turn that viral funny moment into a homicide investigation. But let's be honest, with all that chaotic screaming, if you told me that was an original Family Guy creation, I'd kind of believe you. Speaking of unhinged, chaotic energy, here's Stewie's cousin, Stewie Cruz, being a normal human being in public.
In love with Katie Holmes! I'm in love with Katie Holmes! I'm not gay!
That was a parody of Tom Cruise. Shocker, I know. But they didn't pull that clip of him going crazy on Oprah's couch out of nowhere.
Was that? Yes, yes. What has happened to you? Something happened to you. Something happened to you.
That was the completely in love Tom Cruise announcing his relationship with Katie Holmes. While Tom's version didn't have much sugar high jumping and screaming, he did jump on the couch and pump his fists. You know, normal relationship announcement stuff. But don't judge him, he really was in love. And he's 100% completely straight. Family Guy has no issues parodying celebrities, but don't you think for 1 second they're above parodying freaking internet GIFs.
This might be my biggest candy score ever.
Well, if you're like Brian and you have no idea what he's talking about, here it is.
Lounge rooms across the nation, mines, will millions of Australian jaws will drop.
That jaw-dropping video, pun completely intended, was a 2016 promo for Australia's Got Talent, and no, the guy in the video wasn't a contestant, he was just reacting to what was probably the greatest thing he'd ever seen. Apparently, Stewie wasn't the only one dressed as a gift for Halloween.
Ain't that right, Pop?
For those of you thinking that's Zach Galifianakis, wrong. Turns out that warm, woolly-bearded man is Robert Redford, the lead actor for the 1972 film Jeremiah Johnson. But it's a common mistake, so you're forgiven. The same way we could have forgiven Family Guy if it was just a couple reaction memes they stole. Instead, they went so far as to steal the entire intro from, dare I say, better shows. Here's what I'm talking about. If you haven't figured it out, here's their inspiration. That's the King of the Hill intro that was used until 2010, which Family Guy animated in their usual over-the-top fashion, complete with hijinks, murder, and perverted old freaks. If you think that's the only intro they've borrowed, then boy do I have news for you. Any fan of Modern Family probably instantly recognized that intro after the first 2 seconds, it's just that iconic. In my opinion, Modern Family is the realistic version of what Family Guy could have been if it replaced those explosions with actual family dynamics. By the way, we're just getting started with the intros, and we're heading back in time for these next few ones.
Thank you for being a friend. You're a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being a friend.
Even when Lois sings it, that intro song sounds beautiful. Nothing beats the original, though.
Thank you for being a friend. Card attached would say thank you for being a friend.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was The Golden Girls, an iconic sitcom that got 68 Emmy nominations and won 11. It had a simple premise: 4 elderly women, 1 house, and a lot of comedic gold. Since we're still in the 80s, let's take a peek at the most gloriously chaotic opening sequence ever filmed in US history in the Family Guy version 2 while we're at it. Was pretty good, but they couldn't match the sheer chaos in the original opening. might have been the nostalgia talking. Is it okay if I say I like the Family Guy version more? Only kind words in the comment section, please. Aside from stealing intros, Family Guy parodies outros as well, like what they did with the show Little House on the Prairie. Apparently, the Family Guy writers are trying to make a point with this one. That's why they picked Quagmire in full uniform to recreate this scene. Let's watch the original from 1974. Notice how she was doing cute little airplane wings at the end there.
Actually, The Little House on the Prairie was an American historical TV show set in the 1870s. Now, bear in mind, the earliest Wright Brothers aeroplane was created in 1903, which is around 30 years in the future. So, riddle me this. Why was little Laura doing a little aeroplane dance at the end? Not very historically accurate, if you ask me.
Sorry, that was my rendition of your average Family Guy writer. Please don't click off the video. Little House on the Prairie might be the only show with a more popular outro than intro, because I don't really remember this. Notice how, shall I say, intricate that animation is. Well, that's because it's a rotoscoped shot-for-shot recreation of the actual intro. Looking at it side by side, it's pretty clear the writers were massive fans of the show. They were also massive fans of the show What's Happening, another classic from the 70s. Why is Cleveland running like his life depends on it? Well, that's a reference to the intro from What's Happening. I know it's a classic, but that music kind of makes my ears hurt. Anyway, this is the part they parodied in the episode. The unfortunate character that's inhaling exhaust dust is Freddie Rerun Stubbs, one of the three main characters of the popular 70s sitcom What's Happening. It's supposed to be a wholesome vibe about the boys dealing with girls and money, but Family Guy, as always, had to take that innocent energy and transform it into a sinister joke. Pretty sure Cleveland was about to have a heart attack here. Okay, I got one more intro for you, and this one's the oldest. Let's see if you can figure out what Family Guy is referencing before the clip ends.
Diamonds, daisies, that guy. Chestnuts, is that guy? He's tinsel on a tree. Sable, popcorn, white wine, that guy. Is that guy? He's mine alone, but luckily for you. Guy to only one bad guy too. That guy.
Okay, that bit is a little too insane to be any show's opening, much less 1966's That Girl. Okay, so no car accidents, no muggings, and no bird poop. Damn, I think Family Guy might have improved yet another intro. Alrighty, that's about enough of that. Now we can mention the movies that have inspired Family Guy now and again. Like in the episode Family Guy, Peter finds out Lois might have breast cancer. Naturally, they rush to the hospital for answers, but then they find out something else.
Your mother was a Holocaust survivor.
Oh, no, that's impossible. She's not Jewish. Oh, my God.
Breast cancer's starting to look pretty good.
Good heavens, man. To be fair, Peter tried to be supportive in his own insane way, from buying a Star of David, attending a synagogue, and sending the kids to Jewish school. He even glued a bunch of chest hair on himself for, authenticity's sake. He did everything right, till he got a message in a dream.
Do you think you're doing, Peter? You were raised Catholic. You'll spend eternity in hell.
Oh, God, I don't want that.
As you'd expect, Peter made an instant U-turn. And when I say U-turn, I mean full persecution mode.
What the hell?
How do you like it? Huh? How do you like it?
Peter, what in God's name is this?
Would you believe me if I said crucifying his wife isn't even the worst thing he did? Because things escalated pretty quickly. Yeah, the writers really gave Lois the full Schindler's List treatment. It's not a shot-for-shot remake, but the snipping scene is an obvious reference to the balcony scene from Schindler's List, where Camp Commandant Amon Goth conducted his daily routine of motivating the prisoners to work faster. Except he didn't miss any of the shots he took. Okay, that was pretty depressing. How about a more lighthearted reference? In I Dream of Jesus, Peter tortures his family with music, all because he rediscovered this masterpiece at a 1950s themed restaurant.
About the birds, but bird's a word, well a bird, well a bird is a word, well a bird.
And that's how the torture began. Peter literally played that song on repeat for days. His family endured it, they tried to be patient, but eventually they reached their breaking point.
It feels so good. We have got to get that record and destroy it.
So Brian and Stewie did the world a service by going after that cursed vinyl record, and it led to this absolutely beautiful reference. If that scene looks familiar to you, that's because it's a replica of the scene from the 1999 comedy Office Space, where employees decided to pour out their frustrations on an innocent printer. The printer was innocent and just had the audacity to jam or slow down the workflow one too many times. Can't say the same about Peter and his record though. Sadly, Peter's got a bit of an obsession problem, whether it's food, music, or I don't know, inappropriately leering at people. And I think he learned that from the Lord of Creeps Kevin Spacey himself, because how else would you explain this? Clearly, Kevin Spacey always had a talent for playing creepy characters, and in retrospect, maybe he was a little too good at it. That was a clip from American Beauty. Kevin played Lester, a man going through a midlife crisis who got obsessed with his daughter's 17-year-old friend, significantly more creepy when you don't include the flying drumsticks. I think we're well overdue for a reference that actually includes the most forgotten member of the family. Meg. In the episode The Kiss Scene Round the World, Meg became absolutely obsessed with Tom Tucker, of all people.
I pity the fool who does drugs.
Yeah, Meg was down bad, to the point that she couldn't think straight, so the writers decided that the best way to portray her hormone-fueled obsession was through a classic 80s fantasy sequence.
Board elections took place last evening, and with 6 precincts reporting, candidate Fred Johnson. Hi, Meg.
That fantasy sequence is pulled straight from one of the most iconic scenes in 1980s cinema, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you were.
We're gonna stop it right there. Trust me, it wasn't chicken hiding under that bathing suit. That daydream was the product of teenage Brad Hamilton's hormonal crush on Phoebe Cates. And someone walked in on him fantasizing too, except he wasn't kissing a TV screen.
Oh, wait just a minute.
You can tell the writers are huge fans of the movie because they made another reference to it in the episode Young Parent Trap. Kids these days probably have no idea where these references come from, do they? Who even remembers Pee Wee Herman's Breakfast Machine or Peter's Significantly Worse Breakfast Machine? That unnecessarily complicated breakfast machine is actually from the 1985 movie Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Imagine having to set up that entire contraption every single night just to get eggs and toast in the morning. Well, that's probably how Pee Wee Herman spends his evenings, when he's not traveling across the entire United States searching for a stolen bike, that is. Why don't we pair this classic movie with a reference to a classic song?
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. Rocket Man!
You might recognize that as the hit song Rocket Man by Elton John. You might also wonder why on earth it sounds so bad. Well, that's because this is a reference to a version of the song performed by William Shatner.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, I'm a rocket man. Rocket Man.
Pretty sure most of you never heard this version before, which is a travesty. Now, this next reference I got for you is a pretty special one. It's a reference inside a parody that's actually meta commentary. I'm talking about the episode Candy Quahog Marshmallow, where the gang discovers Quagmire isn't just their creepy neighbor, he's a full-blown movie star in Korea, and one of his hit films was so addictive they binged it non-stop. That is, until they hit a wall. The final episode was missing, and we all know how painful a cliffhanger can be, so they did what any completely rational person would do.
We go to Korea.
Yes.
Buying tickets.
Yes. Very rational. Quagmire didn't just leave behind stardom in Korea, he left behind his one true love as well.
It's his son from the show!
I don't believe it.
She's so beautiful.
Aw, how precious. Meeting his long-lost love was enough to convince Quagmire to stay behind and live the rest of his days in Korea. Now, a spontaneous trip to Korea is one thing, but settling down and building a family is blasphemy. So the boys decided that there was only one way to convince Quagmire to come home: make a parody of a K-pop music video.
Quagmire.
Your new romance has you lost standard.
It was, in all respects, a terrible, terrible song. During that awful song, they couldn't help themselves but slip in this reference.
Candy Quahog Marshmallow!
If you don't know what that's referencing, then I guess you weren't around for one of the dumbest controversies to ever hit the music industry. The time Miley Cyrus made what everyone decided was the most offensive music video of all time. Not every song they reference is controversial, like this hit with Paula Abdul. I'm gonna play the Family Guy version and the original version side by side. Tell me if you can spot the difference. If you don't see the difference, I'd hate to be the one to tell you, but you might just be legally blind. But I'll spell it out anyway. The original features MC Scat Cat, which shockingly enough wasn't an incontinent cat from the 80s. He's way cooler than that. This one raps pretty well too. As you can see, Family Guy's not beyond animating a choreographed dance routine just for a reference, and they took that to another level in the episode Believe It or Not, Joe's Walking on Air. Joe gets his legs back in that one after volunteering for a sketchy medical procedure.
Highly experimental new procedure. It's essentially a leg transplant. If you'd be willing to sign a waiver, I think I may be able to help you.
Family Guy being Family Guy, the procedure worked, and it meant Joe could now do things like this.
Good morning to you. When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright.
Yes, that song sounds familiar. Yes, it's Family Guy's version of this very popular song from 1952. Choreography was a bit different and nobody was screaming their lungs out, so there's that. Speaking of, Joe was a real douche when he got his legs back, so his loving friends and wife crippled him again.
For God's sakes, just give me the gun! I'll do it myself!
Kinda makes the Good Morning song a bit bleak, doesn't it? Unfortunately, that wasn't the only iconic feel-good song Family Guy got their mitts on.
Great Space Coaster, get on board on the Great Space Coaster. Come and ride a fantasy to a place where dreams fly fast and free.
That is an homage to this beauty from the 1980s, the Great Space Coaster.
Great Space Coaster, get on board on the Great Space Coaster. We'll explore, come and ride a fantasy to a place where dreams fly fast and free.
As of 1985, it was seen as one of the greatest shows of its time. The Space Coaster featured 3 young singers who visited a fantasy land in space called Coasterville, and their chauffeur was Baxter the Clown. The original show had a wholesome, heartwarming vibe, but Family Guy decided to throw in a hilarious twist.
On the Great Space Coaster.
Shut up, Ricky! Just shut up right now!
Aside from wholesome kids shows, you know what else Family Guy loves to ruin? Childhood memories. Specifically, the kind about a whimsical factory, golden tickets, tours, and a fountain of chocolate. Ring a bell? Well, in Wasted Talent, Peter guzzled bottles of Pawtucket Patriot Ale, all for a chance to win the elusive Silver Scroll, and of course, he did not do it alone.
Go, 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 go!
Peter, it's 7 in the morning.
Thanks for the update, Big Ben.
Somehow that ever paid off, and he found this.
Run home, Peter. Run as fast as you can.
Yes, it's a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory reference. Honestly, the whole episode is a reference to the movie, but they replicated this classic scene the closest.
Run for it, Charlie! Run straight home and don't stop till you get there!
That's right. It's a reference to the OG 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, not the one with Johnny Depp. Hell, this episode of Family Guy came out a couple years before Charlie and the Chocolate Factory anyway. Once in a while, they turn episodes into relatively obscure references, like the one they did for the movie Tootsie. That one was in the episode Go Stewie Go. It all started when Stewie spotted an open call for young actors, and he's not exactly one to pass up the chance of becoming a star, so naturally he auditioned, only to get hit with some devastating news.
Sorry, all the boys can go home. We only have one part left for a little girl.
Karina Smirnoff.
Hello, everyone!
If you didn't see that coming, I don't think you watched enough Family Guy. The role needed someone who was girly, graceful, and classy, and honestly, that casting had Stewie written all over it, but things got a little complicated.
You're the nicest person I've ever met.
Hey, baby, you ready to go take a nap?
Oh, okay, Randall.
Stewie fell in love with his co-star. That means pretending to be a girl was out of the options. He would have to confess his deepest shame and hope the universe doesn't laugh in his face. But of course, Stewie would never just confess. No, he has to be marvelously dramatic about it.
I am not Little Mary Sunflower. I'm Desmond Sunflower, and I'm a boy.
What you might not know is that this little preschool love story Stewie found himself in was inspired by the 1982 comedy classic Tootsie.
I am not Emily Kimberly, the daughter of Dwayne and Alma Kimberly? No, I'm not.
I'm Edward Kimberly, the reckless brother of my sister Anthony.
Tootsie focused on a difficult actor, Michael, who decided to dress up as a woman to land a role, only to end up becoming the star of the show. And like Stewie, he fell in love with a co-star, which brought up a whole conversation about gender and identity. But things ended better for Michael because, unlike Stewie, he actually got the girl.
But I was a better man with you as a woman than I ever was with a woman as a man. You know what I mean? I just gotta learn to do it without the dress.
Will you loan me that little yellow outfit?
Well, that's wholesome. Now, most of the references we covered so far are standalone cutaway gags, right? But sometimes Family Guy goes all in and dedicates an entire episode to a parody, like the Star Wars episode Blue Harvest. In the middle of said parody, they couldn't help themselves but make references to other non-Star Wars stuff like this one. If you don't understand what you just saw, that was a Dijon mustard ad. A Family Guy Star Wars version of a Dijon mustard ad. This is the actual thing from 1988.
Happily, some are affordable, like Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. Grey Poupon has the classic quality of the original French Dijon recipe created centuries ago. Mais bien sûr. Grey Poupon, one of life's finer pleasures.
Pretty straightforward ad, honestly, not very exciting. That's why I prefer the 2013 version.
The finer things. Happily, some are affordable, like Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. So fine, it's even made with white wine.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?
But of course.
Alfred, would you be so kind as to put the pedal to the metal?
Very good, sir.
Pardon me, but you mistakenly wandered off with my Grey Poupon!
No! The scoundrel! I haven't yet added it to my pork loin!
He's not even eating that pork loin.
That's Grey Poupon, the toppest, classiest, most elite mustard ever made. Allegedly. It's so good you're willing to do stuff like this to get your bottle back.
Time to pop some bubbly.
Certainly, sir.
Corks ripping through metal. Forgive me, I do love it, sir.
Present from my ex-wife!
Eggs!
Caviar, sir?
Yes.
Ah, that little... He went for the caviar slick.
I think this is the most expensive car battle I've ever seen depicted on screen. Can't they just get another one? It's like $5 a bottle. Funnily enough, the ad kind of ends like that when their fight takes them to a grocery store.
Are we dead?
No, sir, we appear to be in a grocery store. Please, sir, pardon me.
But of course.
We aren't done with the 80s hijinks yet, which, by the way, I'm starting to think is the writer's favorite decade. Next, we got a reference to the 1984 classic 16 Candles, and that one comes in the episode Boys Do Cry. The family packed up and hid out in Texas. This means Chris and Meg had to fit in by making some new, cool friends, but the friends had one creepy request.
You gotta sneak onto the Crawford Ranch and steal a pair of George Bush's underwear.
As weird as that sounds, Chris delivered. Thank goodness there weren't any skid marks. That bizarre moment was lifted frame by frame from this scene. Yeah, a bunch of teenage boys gawking at a pair of underwear looks very creepy, but before you judge, what if I told you it's from a super hot girl? Would that change your mind? No? Well, what can I say? It was a different, very strange decade. But at least it gave us Back to the Future, which is where this next reference comes from. Brian travels back in time to the 80s and uses his knowledge of classic movies to blow everyone's mind, and we get a very familiar scene.
Hey, Rick! It's your cousin Marvin! Well, listen to this! Never gonna give, never gonna give.
Like a dozen different cartoons have referenced and parodied this exact scene from Back to the Future, so let's see what the original is actually like. We are still not done with the 80s quite yet, and this next reference is another musical one from Revenge of the Nerds. This time it was a pretty close shot-for-shot remake. Ah, Revenge of the Nerds. You don't even need to know what it's about, just know the nerds won in the end. You've probably picked it up by now, but a lot of episode titles are references themselves, like this next one for example, Stu and Stewie's Excellent Adventure. Despite what you might think, we're actually about to talk about a Ferris Bueller's Day Off reference. That episode started with Stewie meeting a future version of himself and deciding to time travel with him.
Surprise! Oh, this is just great. I can't believe it. This is the future. Wait a minute. Everything looks the same.
Alright, this was still back when Stewie wanted to rule the world. He kinda got the opposite though. His life turned out bad. Like really bad.
Dear God, this is where I live? All alone in a filthy hovel? Let me introduce my roommate.
Turns out Stewie almost died in a pool accident as a kid, and that really messed him up. And just like Henry Rollins said, once you doubt yourself, the world will eat you alive. Yeah, you sit with that for a second. We learn things on this channel. So there was only one way to fix the timeline and make sure Stewie didn't end up as the world's emotional punching bag: get to the pool in time to stop himself from drowning. And he did it in the most 80s way possible.
Hi, Stewie Griffin. Stewie Griffin, hi, how are you? Smells good.
I call that sequence the desperate race before your parents get home, and it came from this classic.
Hi, how you doing? Ferris Bueller. No, don't get up. Hey, it smells delicious. Dinner's ready.
What? What's that?
Just like Stewie, Ferris is on a mission to beat the clock and get somewhere before his parents. Sure, getting caught would have been a disaster, maybe not a timeline-altering disaster, but definitely a grounded-for-life one. Fortunately, it ended well for everyone.
Yes, I did it! I stopped the tower from falling! Who are you? From the future? Well then, you're as disposable as she is!
Okay, that was kind of surprising, but I guess that cleaned up the timeline and it kept Stewie safe, so win-win. And there we have it, an incredibly long list of Family Guy references. If you loved the video as much as I did, click the video on screen now for more animated goodness, and as always, thank you for watching.